Yeah, I believe so. I mean, the verbiage is real similar, and a lot of the styles of runs are very similar, and we got a lot of time with Jeff. So, awesome player, awesome person, and pumped to have him back in here.
What did you like the most when you rewatched the game about your offense?
I liked how I thought we blocked better than I anticipated. There's a few that I thought got away from us from the sidelines, but when I watched the tape, I was encouraged with some of the young guys. I liked how Corey ran. I thought he ran hard. We'll keep pushing him to get better as a runner, but I just love the mentality he ran with. Those are the things that stuck out the most.
Any update on Upton Stout? I saw him out there on the sideline, and then also you said that yesterday you guys were going to evaluate Cowling and Green. How are they doing?
We were hoping Upton can go today. It was feeling too sore, so we're being safe with him. Be surprised if he goes tomorrow. Hopefully he'll be back by the Raiders practice. Jake and Renardo Jake had a real good day today, hit all his times and stuff, so he'll get out there tomorrow. Renardo didn't, so we'll be safe with him and probably hold him this week.
And he said it's just soreness in his calf.
Yes. Yep.
Jordan Watkins?
Jordan Watkins ended up having a high ankle sprain. It's going to be out about a month. Yep.
You guys know that during the game? After
No, yeah. He didn't feel it after the game. He was surprised. He actually reported some other things, came in the next day saying how it was a little sore, maybe we should look at it, and we weren't that worried about it till we got an MRI and showed a high ankle. So he knows the date on those, but those usually take about a month to me.
Any more details on Marcus Siegel?
Siegel was good. He was knee checked out fine. He was out there practicing today.
Siegel have a chance to grab that starting spot at safety?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I think there's a lot of open competition there. And I thought he had a real good game, special teams and on defense. So I wouldn't rule him out for that.
You talked with Pete Carroll yet, or does that happen later this week?
We've talked earlier. We've done our coordinators. We've got all the practice schedules, but Pete and I will talk probably the next couple of days.
Are they in a similar situation to you? I mean, because you guys are going to go with a lot of guys that aren't going to be able to practice, it looks like. You can still get good practices out of that, you think?
Yeah, I mean, we're in a similar situation as we were last year where it gets tough to do these at this time, but I also feel our team is in a different situation in just terms of guys that need this. And we got a lot more young guys, a lot of more new guys. So I really do want to get a practice for someone else, but we'll see how these next couple of days go, whether we even can do threes. We couldn't do threes today, couldn't do one-on-ones today, things like that. So we've had to cut things out. Hopefully we won't have to cut too many things out versus Vegas, but we'll see after the next practice.
How's DeMarcus Robinson been doing these few weeks, and is the league giving you any heads up whether there's an appeal process going on, or what's up with
Yeah, there is an appeal process. I'm not sure how it's going, so I always just plan for the worst and hope for the best, but he's done a good job here. We've really enjoyed him as a guy, knowing he won't be in there most likely those first few games. He'll play a lot more in the preseason, but hopefully we can shorten that with an appeal process.
Without Robinson, but obviously 2 weeks without IU, and there's Watkins is now iffy. You look at week 1, and you haven't really have enough wide receivers on the roster.
I mean, it's kind of been an obvious situation to me for a while, so it's stuff we're working on. It's stuff we're trying to really put pressure on these younger guys. So I was really unfortunate for Watkins to get that setback because really believed he could have helped us early, but he needed the practice to do it, to be able to help us. So it's a minor setback for him. He'll get back. Hopefully he's back around then, but he'll still need to pick up on the practice time and stuff like that, and gives opportunities for a lot more guys. So all these guys got opportunities to make our team this year, opportunities to help us here, definitely in week 1. But it's a lot more open than it's ever been before.
About Chosen, your take on Chosen, how he's been practicing, but then also, he was here last season, didn't really make the team. Now he's back. Has he taken a step since you guys brought him in last year? He's been progressing?
Yeah, I believe he's ahead of where he was last year. He came in towards the end last year for similar situations. We were out a number of guys last year, and Chosen's a guy who's got a good resume. He's put some good things on tape over his career. And he came in and got opportunity, showed some talent. We ended up offering him a practice squad. He chose to go to Miami. And then the same opportunities come up this year. We've had some injuries, got some open competition, and we worked him out. He looked good. I think he's in better shape than he was last time he came. I think he's got a better understanding of the playbook than last time he came. And I think he's got a better opportunity because of our situation to have a chance to make this team too, but he's got to catch up.
After watching the film, do you have any more to add about about your young defensive linemen that have played?
I was proud of them because we've been so down on D linemen that those 6 guys were the 6 guys who got us through all of practice on Thursday, and then those were the same 6 guys interior-wise that got us through the entire game on Saturday. And we got 1 back today, but we only had the 7 guys, so 1 fresh guy today. So I've been very proud of those guys battling. A lot of those guys need the reps. It's been good that they're getting all the reps, but I also like their mentality that they're pushing through it. I know they're tired, I know they're sore, but this will end up making better in the long run.
You were pretty clear when you drafted Bergen that if he makes this team, it's going to be as a return specialist. Has he been any kind of a pleasant surprise as a receiver?
Yeah, he has. I mean, that's why we brought him here, because of his return ability that he did in college. But he's got a lot more opportunities going into this camp, being down guys than we initially expected. And I think he's shown he's ready for it. I mean, he's been able to catch the ball good. He's learned the playbook, and we've been able to put him in there and use him as a receiver, and that definitely helps his chances.
Do you have any better idea now, rough idea about Brandon Ayuk's return and when he could actually, play for you in a game this season?
Not really. I don't know what I've said in the past, but I kind of view all those guys around the same time, whether it's Mustafa, whether it's Rourke, or whether it's Brandon. They're all at different stages, but where they're at, I always see them around week 6, which means that could be week 10, means it could be week 5, but that's the area where I start thinking about it, which is a long ways away. I know it's not week 1 or anything like that, and so it's something I'm not really thinking about too much.
How do you approach that?
6 or 7 of the NFL's better players. Is it possible that they may not play at all in the preseason?
It's possible, but I doubt it. I still like each guy's different, but I still like to play our starters. I just got to see how it pans out and what the risk reward is with it.
When it comes to Juwan, is there any concern from the coaching staff with the seriousness of his calf injury? I know, like last season, there was a calf situation with McCaffrey, and then it turned out to be a lot worse. Is that the same kind of tone with this one, or not so much? He's just trying to...
No, McCaffrey's was Achilles tendonitis that had been bothering him for a while, never got better, and Juwan is a calf that he missed all last training camp with. It's something that we don't think will be too serious, but it's bothering him now, and depending on how much he misses, I always want guys out there. It helps him, it helps the team. But Juwan was all right last year too, missing some time.
With so many receivers likely unavailable to begin the season, but coming back maybe week 6 or roughly week 6, how do you approach right now? Do you start looking at a more high-profile, an Amari Cooper, for example, somebody like that to bring in?
It is a challenge. There's possibilities later, none are guaranteed. But, and there's lots of things that tie to that, who's available, how much they're available for, and the situation our team's in salary cap-wise and stuff, and what we can do. But, yeah, we're looking into everything. We'll always try to do the best, but try not to just panic and do something to survive a tough situation at the expense of what would really hurt you later in this year and definitely next year.
You have to fit in the salary cap. You have a lot of salary cap this year, but not in the next few years. Is it important to roll some over? Are you thinking about that?
That's definitely more a math question for people who study it. But I also know what you see on the salary cap right now, when people get stuff, when it happens, isn't always exactly the same as it looks. So it's when signings are accounted for, when the bonuses go in, so it's all don't have as much as it seems.
What do you think of the special teams operation as a whole for the first preseason game?
By no means perfect, but I was happy with the style that they played at. A number of guys showed up, a number of individuals, and we'll keep pushing them we want better, but I was happy with the first game.
You're happy with Chase Lucas and Marquise Siegel in the game. After watching this film, did that validate what your thoughts were?
Yeah, it did. It's definitely from a defensive standpoint. Special teams not quite the same, but definitely from a defensive standpoint.
Victor has said that Burford is probably a reserve left tackle, probably reserve right tackle. Do you know enough about whether he could has the potential to be a legitimate swing tackle?
Studying coming out of college, we know he has the ability to. He's played in this league for a few years, so that's what we brought him here to do, or at least compete with these guys on it. And today was the first day we got him out of practice, so I think it's a good start for him to hopefully be able to earn that spot.
And Isaac Garendo, saw him out there kind of working. Same kind of deal with my question with Ricky Pearsall. He seemed kind of like he was going closer to full speed somewhere in there? Is he close to a return? And if so, is it possible that we see him Saturday or no?
No, he's going full speed because it's his shoulder. So he can run full speed. He's just, he's got to protect himself. So his shoulder is going to keep him out a couple more weeks. Yeah.
How's Etor coming along?
Who's that?
How's Etor? Dos Matos?
He's coming along. I was hoping to have him back this week. Didn't go as good yesterday as we anticipated. We can see for possible Thursday, but I'm guessing it'll be another week now.
Good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
camp going for you so far?
Really good, actually. Thank you.
What's kind of been the highlight for you, or just how do you view these first few weeks?
Just gelling with the guys, getting in a routine, learning the playbook with the guys, and getting on page with the quarterbacks.
What's it like being on the Rams last year, now being on the other side of these battles with the Niners?
I'm looking forward to go back there, actually. But it's been pretty good getting to gel with the guys. Like I said, it's always different, season in, season out. But getting acquainted with the guys, what I'm saying, trying to get the team ready for a run.
How acquainted do you think you've gotten with Brock Purdy? You guys obviously out there getting a lot of work done together. How does that feel so far, being that you're so new to the team?
It feels good. We get a lot of work in throughout the week. Been here since OTA, so, getting the routine, getting the routes and timing down with each other hasn't been too hard. Same kind of routine, kind of throws and stuff.
What led you to come here?
I'm sorry?
What led you to come here?
Just an opportunity, another opportunity to play ball. I love the sport. That's why I'm still out here playing year 10. Trying to get to another good team and try to make another run for Super Bowl.
Do you see a lot of similarities between the offenses and, between the head coaches and the offensive masterminds, if you will?
Yeah, it's not too different. Coming from Sean and Kyle, pretty similar. They got a few little tweaks and kinks in the different offenses, but both pretty good.
Beyond the obvious, like you have talent and ability, what do you think has allowed you to stay in the league for 10 years?
I would say just being able to make plays when the opportunity presents itself. I think that keeps people in the league long. Whenever the ball comes your way, make a play, and that's what I think I've been doing the past few years. So I think that's a reason.
How are you enjoying the dynamics of the wide receivers? You have Ricky and Jake, some of the younger guys, and then you also have you and Russell Gage as the veteran guys.
It's been pretty good. Learning from the guys, it's always a different group, coming in and coming out. But the guys been really helpful. Ricky, Jawan, B.A., those guys really kind of hone in and kind of teach you the stuff, when they not around or on the field. So in the meeting rooms and stuff, we get a lot of talks in. And even on the field, they go through a lot of stuff, so you can see it hands-on.
How anxious are you just to find out, for the NFL to rule on your appeal, to find out exactly how much time you have to miss?
Pretty anxious. I'm just waiting on the outcome to see what happens with that.
How long have you been waiting to this point?
I really don't know the time frame. Just been waiting to hear from it, honestly.
Do you want to talk about just the incident at all and whether what you learned from it or going forward?
It's all up to the whatever the league says. I'm just waiting on whatever they say to when the time comes.
Following up, does anything like that or having to deal with something like that kind of loom over your head at all, have any effect on you as you're getting prepared for the season, or you kind of just are able to put it out of your mind?
Now you try to learn from it, learn from your mistakes. Teach the other guys around you not to make the same mistakes as you, and kind of move on from it, so you can keep a clear head and just focus on the season. Focus on football.
Just out of curiosity, how pivotal is that, being that y'all have so many young guys in the locker room now?
I think it's very important. The guys are just around you to just ask questions, and you give them the correct information to, not make the same mistakes.
How familiar were you with Ricky Pearsall before you got here, and what have you observed about him and his talent? What do you think he can do?
I knew he was a really good player, but seeing it in hand and his speed and how good he is in route running, I didn't really know it until you really don't kind of know a guy until you see him in person and get to know him in person. But really good guy, great hands, great speed. I think he's going to be pretty good this year.
With all the quarterbacks that you played with throughout your career, what makes Brock Purdy different? What kind of distinguishes him from maybe some of the other guys?
I think he's a great quarterback. He's been to the Super Bowl. He knows how to win. He got like a dog mentality. He knows how to go after it. And when it's time to win the game, he knows how to put himself and put the team in a situation to go out and finish games.
What's that process been like for you and him to kind of figure out what he wants from you and what you want from him?
I would say just the routine stuff, just doing it day in and day out whenever the time presents itself when we're on the field and have opportunity to make plays and, just go out and try to get open and make a play for your quarterback.
Did that chemistry seem kind of like, did it seem like it kind of, you guys bonded pretty quickly on the field?
Yeah, I think that come from doing things in OTAs when it was just offense on the field, and then having the same mentality when we did get the defense in front of us, still being able to make those routes and everything come together and gel together. So I think just over time it kind of picked up.
Some of the cornerbacks and coaches have said you're bigger and more physical than they thought you were. That's something you hear a lot over the years, or have you?
I don't know. I try to implement it into my game, whatever I can. If I need to be quicker or faster, if I do need to put a body or run through a guy's shoulder and make a tough catch, I try to do so.
Who in the defensive backs room has been the most challenged to run up against?
I would say Lenore. He's a really good cornerback, very smart, easy to get off of his lane. So I mean, I think you got to bring a lot of tools out the book when you're going against a guy like that.
Do you guys enjoy the challenge and have a little chatter back and forth during the plays?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not really like too fussy or nothing like that. I think it's mostly like, oh, good job right there. I'll get you next play, or the same, vice versa. We just all out here trying to get better, make the team better, and we do that by competing. And that's the only way I feel like you get the best out of both sides.
Marcus, regarding the incident last year, I'm sure you want another question about that, but I mean, you reportedly, went and talked to Coach McVay and other members of the front office and addressed your team. Why was it important for you to do that, and was it hard in the moment?
Yeah, I think it's always hard when you go through something like that, to try to have to deal with that and talk about that in front of the guys. But I think it's also a learning time for myself and for the other younger guys or older guys, anybody that's in the room, just try to give them kind of like feedback on what I had and stuff like that, so nobody go through the same type of thing.
You mentioned it's year 10 for you in the league. Any advice you've given younger guys? There's a lot of young guys in your room this year. Any advice you've given them as far as camp goes?
I would say a lot of it comes in OTAs and training before we even get to OTAs. Whenever the season ends, you just try to keep your body intact and football shape, not killing yourself over the working out wise every day all the time. Sometimes you gotta let your body rest. Your body know what it needs, and sometimes if you need to get faster or quicker or a better hand. So you just work on things that you think you need to work on, or you ask your coach, and I feel like that prepare you for the next season coming up.
Thanks, Marcus.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I want to talk about your growth this summer. How much, if any, you're always known as a guy who was aggressive and ran around, and that was never an issue. I guess, have you gotten better at the balance between being aggressive, fast, and also in control?
Yeah, I would say pretty much just what you said. I think it's just diagnosing the play quicker to allow you to play fast, but also play under control. And, I think Johnny and KJ have done a good job this offseason to help me, get to that point, and I'm definitely excited for their help.
KJ, obviously Super Bowl champion, but Seahawks, how much of an impact has he had on kind of just maybe seeing the little things that a quicker step or something like that, an angle that has really helped you to kind of?
Yeah, last year, I would always go into KJ's room if I had any questions. So, he's been there as a player. Obviously, he's done it. And, now that he's on the other side, it's, I guess, someone that we can relate to more, So, like I said, I went to him last year, and he would help me all the time. And, I appreciate him so much.
What did you do to hone in on your coverage skills?
To be honest, I just watched a lot of film and, found certain tendencies that running backs do, whether that be in the slot position or in the backfield, and kind of just honed on those things, and that was about it.
How much does going up against Christian McCaffrey help you really work on that?
I mean, I think he's the best one in the league. So, anytime I can get a rep with him, I'm always excited, and, it's always a good battle.
Do you guys have conversations about tendencies to help you get better at your job?
No, it gets pretty competitive. He wants to win, and I want to win, so he doesn't want to give me any secrets. So, yeah, that's about it.
Without giving away like secrets, when you say diagnosing a play, like what are some, whether it's the quarterback or running back, like what are some like generic tells that let you know what's coming?
I know in this league we get like play action a lot, so the O-line is going to tell you. We call it elephants holding tails, but when I was a rookie, I would see these O-linemen running really fast, and I would think it's running. It'd probably be like a special route or something behind me that that was my job to do, and I wouldn't do it. So just being able to diagnose that and play calm and under control, and it's helped me elevate my game.
Thank you, Nate.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see some faces. Good to see some faces. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Oh, blessed, man. Can't complain. Can't complain.
Today, or did it seem like everything's new, or what?
No, it's kind of like riding a bike. I've been here for a pretty good while. So, there's some things that change. Nothing the same. Everything's always evolving and changing. So it's not the exact same, but it's some familiarities that I'm used to in there.
How similar was the Miami system with McDaniel than to what you did here?
It was similar, but not the same. Everybody has their own ways of doing things, and it's not the same person. Kyle's not at two places, or Mike's not at two places, so it won't be the exact same. But there are familiarities in there, but it's definitely different. But the core of it and the base of it, it's kind of the same.
To get back to being with Bobby Turner, and how much has he influenced your career?
Oh yeah, he's a main part of it. He taught me the game. He taught me stuff that I took from not even being with him, and it's like I went to, even when going to Miami, it was stuff that the coach didn't have to harp on me on, coach me on, or just drill me on, because it was stuff that I learned my first year, rookie year in the league. And like he says, everything's the same. It's a copycat league, you know what I mean? But the things he taught me, I've been using them to this day.
It felt good to be back. You could just be saying it just because you've been here before, but I want to know, being out there, knowing that you are familiar with the system and familiar with the faces here, what are the differences being back this time versus when you were here before, if there are any differences, and then what are some similarities?
I would say, I'm not too big on the differences of that, but I would just say the love. Before I came here and where I was at, it was a rough spot for me. You know what I mean? I have nothing to sugarcoat, nothing to lie about, nothing to hide. I was in a rough spot. But as soon as the news started circulating about me coming here, I had so many fans DMing me and texting me, man, we miss you, we love you, and it was just man, it's people that still carrying love, and that was the main reasons why I made it kind of sweeter to come back, because it was having those people reach out. It's man, we miss you, we love you, thank you. It's just all those things go a long way. You never know what a person's going through, so when you hear those things at the right time, it could be a big difference.
That's the fan base you're talking about? Or?
Yeah, everybody, the fan bases, the coaches, the players that I've seen around. I seen some people that I haven't seen since I left, but came back, giving them hugs. It's like we never left. You know what I mean? Just the smiles are just as big. The glass of the eyes are just just as big. So just to seeing those guys, and then it's all an uplift for the spirit.
What was it like leaving here, Jeff, in 2022? They bring in McCaffrey, and then they dealt you away to Miami. Did you pay attention to these guys? Did you feel good that going to a place where you're going to be able to play? What was it like?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely, but I knew coming in this, it's a business, so I kind of knew what was brewing before they made the transaction and Christian actually came here. So I kind of always felt it, and it was the fact that I didn't want to leave, or they didn't really want me to leave, but it was just as far as the business side of it, and me having kids to take care of, a family to take care of, just like everybody else. It was just the business aspect. If I could go back and stay here, I'd most definitely try to find a way. But, everything happened for a reason, I believe. I'm a firm believer in that, and, you never know.
Talking about rough times, you mean the time between last season and coming back here now?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Just how things transpired for me in my last year, and then the off season, how things transpired and was laid out, then the gift of not knowing, you know what I'm saying, having absolutely no clue, that was probably one of the biggest things. But, my faith is what I stand on and what I believe in. So I have a great family, great supporting system, and they always kept me uplifted, even the times when I was down. But, like I said, it's a blessing. Things are looking up, and I'm blessed, and I'm happy to be back in the building.
Sometimes veterans can get to a certain point in their career where they can still play, but teams are looking for younger guys, and they wind up with nowhere to go. Were you starting to think man, I don't know, is there a place for me here?
Yeah, for yourself, you never doubt yourself. You understand that. But like I said, this is not just this is not college or high school anymore. You know what I mean? This is the NFL, and like I said, the main sport, the main biggest thing about it is business, and you can't forget that. I mean, it's going to be love. You're going to have connections, and you're going to even have people that you deal with for the rest of your life. But at the end of the day, it comes back down to being a business. So you got to cherish the moments as much as you can, hold on to them, but also understand that as well. So.
If I'm remembering correctly, when you were last year, it was Brock Purdy's rookie year, and he had not played in a game yet. I know you've only been here like a minute, but is there anything you remember about him as a rookie and anything you see differently today on the field?
Oh, definitely. Like he's like a total. It's just his aura. He don't even have to speak. You can just like feel it on him. You can feel his presence. It's like it's kind of crazy because I just talked to him in the locker room. I mean, in the weight room. We just got done lifting. We was kind of just talking about that. And you know, like I was just telling him, man. He was like, "It's good to see you." Telling me the things that I taught him, that I was telling him when he was getting ready to, you know, transpire and go into his groove before everything already started. But it's just like I told him, man, you ain't done yet, man. And the sky's the limit. And I can't wait to see where he continue to go. Brock's my guy for sure.
So, you know, you told him that, and then you see how it manifested over the next 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I think maybe it only took a season for him to kind of break out after, I'm guessing, that moment that you guys had. What is that like to be able to see a guy go from pretty much a boy to a man on the football field?
You know, it's a blessing, but on the same token, on the other side, I was like, man, am I old? No, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but it was, you know, that was a beautiful thing to see, though, because, like I said, I knew where he was at. I knew where his mindset during those times. It's not nothing to harp on or overdo because, you know what I mean, where he's at now is where he's supposed to be. And like I said, I just can't wait to continue to see him excel. So, okay, I'm very happy for him. Yeah.
It's only been a few reps, but, I mean, it's a different offensive line for you outside of Trent Williams.
Yeah.
How has it felt so far?
You know, it's definitely it's some getting used to. You know, I gotta go back and meet some guys and mingle with some guys and get to know them. That way, you know, we can have a different relationship as far as just on the field. That way, when you do get on the field, it's like, all right, this is my brother. I got you, and I want them to know that I got them. So it's just rekindling those things, getting back in those relationships, and getting back and earning people's trust around here. Because yeah, I've been here, but it's what have you done for me lately? You know what I mean? I'm a big believer in that. So just to gain those guys' trust back, and kind of get back and glimpse with them and show them that I'm here to work and I'm not just trying to be, you know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing about it. Yeah. All righty. Thank y'all. Y'all have a blessed.